We did agree to do this game.
Here we go.
When we
We've been live stream now. Brilliant.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
live now.
we're live. Yay. Good
Yay!
morning. Good morning. We're sorry we're a little bit late, aren't we, Mia? We've had a few technical hitches this morning.
The whole journey to come here. 9:15 UK, 10:15 Sweden time
Oh,
almost,
bless.
has been a very interesting journey, and brought the warrior energy at least.
We were just laughing about Facebook violating our sovereignty because it just
Exactly.
won't let us do what we want to do on here.
And we really had planned to go live actually in 2 weeks, the 15th of February,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we both felt that, no, we need to go live the 1st of February.
yeah. It's for those of you who are calendar watchers and like your special days. Today is a very special day. It's in bulk in the UK, which is the feast of Bridget or Bridget. Yeah,
Yes, Bridget.
and it celebrates the Celtic. It's the Gaelic spring. Basically, it's like it might be cold and wintry out there, but the evenings are getting longer. You can feel that spring energy returning. The birds are singing. It's absolutely beautiful. And so, not only that, we've got a very powerful new moon in Aquarius, and we've also got the Chinese New Year beginning today. So it's all going on.
Exactly. And you introduced me to Imbolc, and I understand it's the time we are like in the middle of the winter solstice, right? And
Yeah,
spring equinox.
that's correct. That's correct.
That's the
I'm
Imbolc. And so I read and studied. So I mean that's really powerful. Two incredibly powerful dates, and
yeah,
we are in the midst of it. And of course, the winter solstice comes with one energy all the way up till today, and from today all the way to spring equinox, there's another energy, and they kind of merge and
they
meet
do.
together.
Oh, I've just managed to share this on my practical ascension page, so we're also streaming.
Amazing.
Right, I'm just double
And
checking that, considering what we've been through, the trauma that we've been through to get here this morning. I'm just going to make sure that it's all right. Yes, we did.
great,
We
amazing. And also as we just connected yesterday, it was like it's new moon also today.
moon. Yeah,
So
yeah,
new moon, and we have both felt and got information about the significant energy of February.
mm, yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, how was January? How was your January team?
January was it was. I mean, it was a bit of a grind, if I'm honest. It's been beautiful. The energy has been amazing, but I've had to really adapt my physical routines and the things that I'm doing to adapt to this new energy. Now I talk about it all the time. You talk about it. Other people
Mm.
talk about it, about making the adjustments, and it's easy to talk about until you've got to make those adjustments yourself. You know, we can teach about it incessantly, but all of a sudden I'm experiencing these physical kind of like, right, okay, I've got to stop what I'm doing and rearrange physically how I'm doing things in order to assimilate what's coming in, the new patterns and everything else that's going on. And physically, it's been quite tough. I can't do the things that I would normally like to do. I'm having to kind of rearrange things and just take it easy basically and let this it's a rewiring process. We're all being I see that we're all being rewired physically, neurologically, spiritually, and it takes some getting used to. It does. We've had these kind of periods of time where we've adjusted to higher frequencies before, but now it's getting really physical, really physical.
Yeah, and we were talking about it in December. It's so
Mm.
easy to be like, oh yeah, this is what's gonna happen.
Mm.
2022, it's all about health. And then we like entered January and like got it straight into our faces. You with your injuries, me
Mm.
got the Ovid, and
Yeah, the big C.
exactly. So I mean, yeah, it just came. flushed upon us, and then it's not that easy. That's when you
No.
get the teachings. And of course, we know by now the teachings are beautiful. The
Mm.
challenges comes with amazing that the challenges come with amazing teachings, and the teaching sets us free once
Oh,
the
totally.
rewiring is done.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's a practice also now. I mean, we have done so much work, so to step into that observer when it happens, so we don't get caught into the emotional looping and siphoning down, that's also the difference
Yeah.
this year.
Big difference. Big difference. I mean, I have, like saying, you got really clobbered,
Mm.
and I mean, it happened to me last year, the kind of like the physical upgrade, like my body wanted to get rid of a load of density very quickly and take me into a higher framework of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual energy. So I got poorly and I was forced to rest. But it's now that's kind it's kind of going on into other forms where, like, okay, well, you've had that upgrade, now there's another one, and now
Mhm.
there's another one, and you're having to reset focus, energy, trains of thought are very, very important, because there's a very, very there's various very powerful energy fields that you can immediately plug into. The second you're plugging into the one that's not resonant with you at the moment, you cop it, you get
Mhm.
hit by all of the things that you don't want, basically. So again, it's not just about the kind of the health, it's about spiritual discipline. Now, the second you mentioned the word spiritual discipline, like everyone's like, oh no, not more of it. Am I not disciplined enough? You know what I mean? Well, it's like we're aiming for a very high target.
Exactly.
You know, we've set our own bar very high by agreeing to walk through this ascension gateway, and inevitably it's going to require unwiring patterns of behavior that are no longer resonant with us, and I'm finding myself doing that at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean the discipline it will not be hard really to do, because
No,
there's no turning back
no.
to the old hiding or moving into addictions in all sorts. That's gone, and we are being so deeply pushed to clear any unresolved conflicts at this moment.
Mm.
And that will require a very deep spiritual commitment and discipline, because we are now being tested and pushed to kind of reprogram all the codes that we have been receiving. We've been receiving so many upgrades,
Mm.
and it's like these upgrades, all these codes, they're waiting to for us to push start to like use them.
Mm.
And once we do that, and to be able to push the start on all the codes we are receiving through all the webinars and everything we've done last year,
Yeah.
we are gonna need to really, really, really check if there's any unresolved conflicts in our lives, because we cannot have that negative energy lingering around us anymore, because we are too sensitive for that, and we need to move into a state of deep inner peace, and we cannot have any drama anymore in our lives.
It's a very, very important point, because naturally, with what we do, we're humans on a physical planet. There is an abundance of drama, an abundance of it, and that never-ending source of joyful or whatever drama that is all around us is increasing in volume in order to try and maintain its status quo. So all of this training that we're getting to de-dramatize or unplug from that particular vibration, what I was shown early last year, and it stuck with me, was that when we plug into those fields, when we have to, or we choose to, or we unconsciously do so, when we plug into that lower frequency, that anger field, that drama field, whatever field is going on, it's becoming increasingly toxic. It was showing me almost like it has almost like a spiritually acidic effect on our bodies and fields. So once we've removed ourselves from that, it's given us extra work to do. It's had more of an effect than it would have done previously. So it's a case of how we engage with that drama, how we view it, how it's affecting us on an emotional and on a physical level. And what I'm seeing is a lot of physical effects from what is going on around us. And that's what we're working or striving to move through and actually start to step above. Do you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And as that is happening on like in one parallel process, what my team has been showing me, because we have been feeling this very different kind of tiredness, both you and me, and I know other people. And it has been going on for quite a while, for 2 weeks or something, and that feels like forever.
Yeah,
Because there's another kind of tiredness. And I started to dig into that and like really sat with it, and then they started to show me, my guides, like we are really field harmonizers. Many of us that have signed up for this work, we are harmonizing the fields in our home with our whole family, in the area where we're staying, and we're also being asked actually in dream state to also harmonize bigger fields, other countries, and sometimes outside Earth. So that means we are these harmonizers and we are space holders. And it was like, yes, we know that, but if we really understand the depth and the energy it takes to be a space holder, we're going to understand why they have requested us to take care of our health, to take a lot of time off this year, and really put the oxygen mask on yourself first. We cannot be the old codependent light workers that run as soon as someone is knocking on the door and needs help, because there's many people that will be messaging you, texting you, and there will be this like chaotic, I need your help. And then you're going to need to, check your field on a completely new level and see, okay, can I hold space for this? So there's so many parallel processes happening, as well as being asked to participate in dramas in a new way. We also are being requested to harmonize the field, and we do it as star seeds and also indigos and wherever you come from. It's like it's already in our DNA. It's part of our soul mission. So we just harmonize the field without knowing that, and that's where the tiredness comes. I was asked to move back to Sweden to work with the field here, and it's a difference because I was almost not in alignment where I was the last 2 weeks. And I came here and something shifted immediately. Yeah. So it's interesting what's happening.
It's very, very interesting. I think that's probably one of those most important points to take into February for everybody who's listening or might listen later, is understanding or having clarity on the level of the job that you are actually doing. The quantity of light that you're holding, the amount of fields that you are harmonizing. And just if you do get hit with that tiredness, excuse me, that tiredness, that need to take a break, that urgency to kind of slow down, detach, maybe not be quite so attentive with the messages and your emails and everything, that's actually more important than it would have been previously. So to duck out and to take that time at the moment. And I can remember speaking about this last year because I was seeing it happen. I was seeing people kind of getting very burnt out and having to retreat. And because they'd stayed there against the kind of the warnings of the physical and the spiritual, it took longer to recover. So kind of
Yeah.
ducking in and out and taking that time to regenerate and recuperate is incredibly important. And also owning your space and your sovereignty enough to say, no, I'm not going to attend to that today.
Yeah.
I need that time for myself. So we've all got to apply that discipline, I believe, to our own process at the moment. Duck in and duck it, because it's a lot of us feel that level of responsibility. If we stop what we're doing, then the entire ascension process will collapse. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, if I'm not there doing what I'm doing, then everything's going to go Pete on. And it will be my fault. It's a little bit kind of like dipping back to that responsibility of the fall of Atlantis that we all feel at the moment, that weight upon our shoulders to make this work. And even if we haven't acknowledged that consciously, it's very much an unconscious thread that we share within our field, almost like an urgency to get this done. You know, we want this to work. So we're doing everything that we possibly can to improve ourselves and improve others. And sometimes that urgency is, I think what we need to do is find that balance this year, is actually have that self-discipline. Right, okay, I'm getting like I did previously. I'm tired. I need to step back, take that time and that energy for myself and do it.
Yeah.
Basically.
And it's also that old template of how to be in service, because that was kind of hijacked by a lot of programs.
Yeah.
So I also received so much information about, our mission, because the 6 month journey that we are doing that starts like in the middle of March, it's all about assisting those that feels a calling to step into their mission. How do we step into our mission? And there's an old template of how to serve, and to serve in the old ways, just give, 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 never say no, just like be selfless. And all of that needs to be reprogrammed and rewired, because we need also to understand that, I mean, a lot of times we have this conversation, you and me, in between, where you actually assist me just by anchoring in your energy into something that I'm doing, and you're not even here, you don't even kind of know it. So you taking care of you assist me when I need your assistance. So that's also the thing, that we are going to get your mission is about becoming who you are and owning your energy 100% without as little leakage as possible.
Yeah.
And that will be enough, because then you can receive whatever needs to be received. You can take action for what needs to be taken action. But many times your high level frequency is more than enough, because I usually get questions like, what is a space holder? A space holder, as I see it, is a compassionate, when we hold a compassionate witnessing state. I don't say that's easy, because it requires a lot of healing to be in a compassionate witnessing space when the person in front of you or the world is getting crazy. So all the healing we've done is to be able to go step into that space. And a compassionate space holder also needs to put boundaries, because that's like, this is mine, but this is not mine. So it's doing less, assisting more.
Absolutely. Yeah, you've described that perfectly, absolutely perfectly, about the level of and then this is what I was saying as well, like everybody who's listening now will at some point be the anchor or the stability for those around them. All of that energy, all of that light that you work with, all of the healing and the processes that you go through, it's stabilizing a unified field, because that field has now grown strong enough. The fifth dimensional field that we're always talking about, it's now established, that golden foundation energy that's all around the world. And the whole point of what we've been through for the last 10 years was to get that foundation, or get us ready to hold that foundation, so other people can walk onto it. You know, they might have only just woken up. There's going to be a lot of people who have just woken up this year. a lot of people. They're coming out of the illusion. The veil came off the third eyes in 2020 and 2021, that fifth veil. But it takes time for the eye to see clearly, the third eye. It takes that time to recalibrate and unprogram. And so in the meantime, we've been holding that space stable for that period of time. And so many will be joining the pathway this year. We'll just see this increase and grow exponentially, because I think it's 2022 is the year of consciousness. It's the actualization of all of the work that we've been doing. So we're starting to see the tangible, we're really seeing the results of what's going on around the world at the moment. It's you know, because I was saying the revolution won't be televised. Well, the first part of it wasn't, but now they can't ignore it anymore.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's got everything in every single country around the world has now got to the point where even the mainstream media outlets can no longer ignore what's going on. They might tell their own version of events, but nevertheless, we can see it. It's visible for everybody now.
Yeah, and that's the event that Manny talks about, and the given dates that we'll be giving, like March, April. It's because it's so much is going to be revealed by then.
Yeah,
it's going to be like, yeah, you need to be so asleep to not understand what happens.
You've got to be deliberately asleep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's like so many are ready, and actually that's where this the whole Ovid thing happened, you know, also because it really cleared the field for so many people. I keep hearing it all the time. But also, as we were talking about this space holder, I think it was interesting. It just came through that, I mean, the male body holds that. Just genetically the space holding energy, and of course we also, even the women, has the masculine, the divine masculine within us, and the male bodies too, that is kind of coming back, and we're retrieving it in different ways, because it has the masculine has been ruled by the wounded masculine. So the feminine, the females, but also the feminine aspect of us, even the men have resented many aspects of the wounded masculine. But as the divine masculine comes in, we're gonna also, all of us, more easily gonna be able to move into that space holding. But we kind of want to call out here to the male bodies, so to say, because the female body is a little bit too connected to the magnetic fields. We are a little bit too sensitive many times, because we are receiving, and we are the receivers in another way. So we do really need the male bodies now. Exactly. So we kind of really would like to invite also the men to this 6-month journey, because we really need you. And for you women that listens to this, if you have, you know, males around you that you think would benefit from having this 6-month ascension journey with us, please bring them in. Because also we were talking the other day, Tim, about the black magic that was being cleared all over the planet.
That's another reason why I think a lot of us have been feeling very whacked.
Yeah.
Because there's been an awful lot of clearing recently that we have either been aware of or we weren't aware of. Most of us are subconsciously aware of it. We're kind of going through our day and we're knackered, and we don't know why. And it's like, well, I've made this adjustment, I've done this, I've done that, I've done everything that I should be doing in order to actually feel okay, and I still feel like crap. But we're not taking into consideration the volume of energy clearance that is going on in the field around us, as well as the anchoring and the holding space process, as well as analyzing this new information and light codes that are coming through to us. So as fast as they create it, it's being alchemized. But this takes work. It really does. So we've got all these, what I'm seeing, another beautiful sight for 2022 is the quantity of the light teams that kind of almost look or feel like they're re-emerging. It's like they stood back during the last year or two a little bit. I mean, I know a lot of us have had contact, but all of a sudden, bang, they're here. It's like, right, time to get on board, time to do this job. We've had 2 years of processing. Now it's time to actually start getting results.
Yeah.
And so all of these fields, all these lower frequency fields that are being alchemized, we're feeling that. We're part of it. We're assisting with the clearance. We're not just doing the we're not just doing the anchoring, we're doing the alchemizing. Because when you hold a high vibration, that alchemizes everything around you to vibrate at your frequency.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing it.
Exactly. And I mean, as a space holder and a way shower, we also need to understand that we will receive what is coming to the rest of the collective before everyone else.
Yeah.
So it also hits us, and it hits us pretty hard. We really said yes to that. And that's also something that really comes strongly through, and why we were asked, part of why we were asked to do these 6-month journeys. Because that commitment that is being asked, and the level up of discipline comes also that we need to kind of receive more advanced teachings, so to say, and there's more advanced technology for us to receive. I mean, it's always like that for us when we get, a yes to do a work, and then it starts to come, and we do understand that it's going to be like a upgraded priest and priestesses school, actually, this 6-month journey, and a lot of that's coming in we haven't received yet, but there's really high level technology, yes, from Atlantis, but also new upgraded versions for us, so we more easy can be the space holder, so we more easy can be the way shower, everything to move into ease, because from March, April, we're actually leaving that struggling energy. We're supposed to leave that struggling energy.
Yeah. It's very interesting about the January and February energy that I'm feeling so far, because last year I was given several kind of astrological predictions that said that during January and February, it would feel very oppressive. Now, I haven't felt that. I felt like I am having to do an incredible amount of extra work on myself, but I haven't felt that vibration. I'm not feeling the field around me in the same way that I did the last time. It's almost like instead of getting what we were predicted, we got something completely different, a releasing of the circumstances, not a return to the circumstances. So we were predicted in January and February to be returning back to the kind of like this very intense kind of almost draconian energies that we've been experiencing previously, but the opposite has happened. Now that to me is extremely clear evidence that we have succeeded in establishing this higher field. It's almost like there's a different set of circumstances that we're now experiencing on what it could almost be viewed as a higher timeline. So what we're focusing on and what we're trying to achieve with this energy that we're all creating together is starting to now actually become a field of experience, and that will build and grow as more of us join and more add to it. That field becomes more established, and there you have the makings of your new reality. That's how it occurs.
When you're talking about that, I'm just thinking about this almost weird state that I've been experiencing in January of a new kind of detachment that is almost like I needed to check with myself, like, am I really, is this for real? Am I this detached? Or am I, hiding from something? Have I blocked myself? Or what is happening? And we worked so hard to come here. But I do hear many people feeling that state of neutral, that we so for so long longed for, but once we hear with that detachment that you're talking about, because we are detached from the field, the outer field in that way, the collective. It's our own deep soul healing that is occurring now. And the soul healing is from all of our soul extensions. Like it's not only this incarnation we're working with
No,
anymore, it's like
no, it's
high
multiple.
soul level work, the monadic, embodiment is really going on. So as we move up to the monadic soul seeding, there's going to be a detachment. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're not selfish because you're not attached to everyone else's story.
Yeah,
You are exactly where you need to be. And I think we do need, again, just to go back to the 6 month journey where we feel that there's a need of a close, safe community where you can kind of brief this with each other, because we are really entering the new earth now. And the way showers and the space holders, we're going to be a little bit before the others. And it's going to be projections on us, and we are going to feel, a little bit weird and strange because it's like a new territory we're stepping into. And we're going to need each other just to kind of remember the truth and kind of activate each other.
yeah.
So that's also why this 6 month journey is every webinar, you're going to go into breakout rooms, you're going to really be able to connect with each other, and we're going to give you kind of questions to talk about. And so kind of that activation from Atlantis and all of those like golden eras that we can really get assistance from can come in to our field, and we can move faster into the understanding that the new earth is here.
Absolutely. That is exactly what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling about creating a new collective. And when we are bonded together, when we're working together like that, individually we're powerful, but when we unify together and we start sharing the ideas, we'll get validation for the things that we've received and the experiences that we're having. Everything moves so much faster because you get, right, okay, that's correct, I can continue with the next one. Now, with the Atlantean technology or the Atlantean fields, I've always seen this existing there, almost like an iCloud. So, we talk about
Mm.
technology. Everything that we wanted to keep at the fall of Atlantis, everything that we knew that was going to be sacred and useful for the fifth dimensional future, 10,000 years down the road, it was placed away with a foolproof method. Okay, now that foolproof method meant the reactivation or the reaccessing of that information and technology could only be done when there was a collective vibration that supported that. And they did that to ensure that the information, the technology, and even the principles of what we'll be working with were never misused again.
Yeah.
So the higher we are working and the more work that we've done personally and the more steps that we've taken up the ladder, the easier it will be to access this, because it's not so much an individual thing, it's a shared collective, basically reclaiming what we have placed away for ourselves all those many incarnations ago, all that time ago. And I know from previous experience and workshops that I've run in the past, there's a lot of people out there that are very worried almost about recreating the circumstances that we had in Atlantis or reaccessing that field because it ended so badly. But that will never occur again, because the consciousness collectively that we're going to be part of and the consciousness field on planet Earth, when we do reaccess that in its full entirety, will have reached, it will be above that benchmark of polarity. So nobody's even thinking about using that, misusing it for selfish purposes or for world domination or anything like that. We are creating this new harmonized field of consciousness that is vibrating in tune with the heart. So that's what the Atlanteans did at the fall. That's what we did at the fall. Placed it away so it can only be accessed when the vibration has risen to a point where it will no longer be misused again.
Yeah, I mean, we've been so deeply prepared on another level this time because we
Yeah.
have been forced to really understand the art of dark also on another
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
I mean, in those timelines, many was like born into that amazing perfect vibration, so we have been so deeply prepared to also do understand
Mhm.
the dark aspects out there. So it's really interesting. And as you were talking, I was really feeling the energy because we have this Facebook group for everyone that has signed up for the 6 month journey that is called One Unity Generation. And I think
I
we're a
love
little
that
bit
name.
more than 200 now. And honestly, the energy in that field, we haven't started the Facebook group, but everyone is joining.
Mm.
And just when I enter there, I'm like, whoa. I mean, imagine I mean, every single person there have committed for a 6 month journey with really also really knowing on a soul level what this means. So yes, come and join us because if you feel that resonance of needing to practice the unity consciousness
Mm.
and the true oneness, we need to be with the souls that can vibrate on the same frequency and that has the same commitment, so we can accelerate in the pace that we're supposed to accelerate, and it's going to be more fun, honestly, also.
Yeah. It's more fun doing things on your own. I mean, we've done things on our own or kind of we've been quite separated from each other on a
Mm.
group level for years. But I do believe that also this year is going to see very much kind of like the re-establishment of very powerful light communities, and this will be one of them. So
And
I'm
I
very,
do hope that we can have like end it with a physical meeting. We kind of like really
yeah,
talked about that like in September or something
yeah,
to have a physical gathering in Sweden.
that would be great.
And yeah, I
If
mean,
they
can
could
you
manage,
imagine the
yeah,
preparation and the buildup of the energy? We will be able to do amazing planetary work also when we meet together. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things happening here in Sweden. There's a lot for many of us to retrieve right now here from ancestral lines and karmic contracts and stuff also. So it was just interesting that we talked about this far
many,
earlier, yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
now it feels like okay, and September is after this 2022 Lionsgate. I needed to take an inhale and exhale
Lionsgate.
because also what they told us was this work is like an immense preparation for the Lionsgate. This is going to be the
Yeah,
Lionsgate.
it's this particular one is the date this coming August was given to me, or was highlighted to me by Merlin in August 2019 when he activated the storm layer around the planet.
Mm.
He said this will be running for 3 years. And it was in August 2019 that I knew something very big was starting to build up, or it was going to occur. I didn't know how, what, where, or why, or what the circumstances would be. But obviously, in January 2020, we saw what happened. Everything started to change around the world. So, August 2022 is the date, or the Lionsgate is the date that the storm layer that has been running around the planet, which alchemizes all of the lower frequencies, all of the dark magic that you've been talking about, all of the other energies of change, the fear releases, everything that's been occurring, it's taken out. Basically, it will have done its job, and something new will be started. And I always get excited, like, oh, great, what they got planned now, sort of thing.
Mm.
But it's going to involve work, change, re-establishing new energies and new frequencies, and building from what we've achieved in this incredible 3 years. So it's been going on since
Yeah.
before the beginning of 2020.
Yeah,
This
three
Lionsgate will be
years.
massive.
What
Yeah,
a 3 years. Like if
what
we
a
knew
3 years.
that, it would be like, okay, I don't know if I'm in for this. Thank God we don't see too much. That's what my guides say. Say
Yeah,
to your students that they don't want to see too much.
no, no. It's need
So,
to know, isn't it,
I mean,
basically?
and it's a preparation from Lionsgate 2022 is kind of opening of the 2023, right? And that's also like a big big year.
Yeah.
So
Big
not
year. They're
go
all
too
big
ahead
years,
too
aren't
long.
they?
Yeah, and also I received a lot of questions from people about if you're not on Facebook, because we're gonna post this on
Yeah.
YouTube too. If you're not on Facebook, can you do the 6 month journey with us? And you can, because
Mm.
we will have a monthly Q&A live, me and team, in the Facebook group, but we will be posting it on our YouTube channels. And then the monthly webinars and gatherings there is going to be through Zoom, and you're receiving that, and you're receiving the recordings as always. And yeah, so the only thing you're missing if you're not on Facebook is kind of the posts
Mm.
from others in the group, but
Yeah.
that's it. So maybe you're gonna change your mind. And I said to a couple of the people that have signed up, like, you're probably gonna create an alias and just be in that group, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Funny, we were talking about Facebook before. We like violating my sovereignty, won't let me do what I want, sort of thing. But it's so
Exactly.
important, isn't it?
It is. It
Mm.
really is. So we're super excited really for this, and the momentum is just like
Building,
building up.
building,
And
building.
yeah, so yeah, reach out to me actually if you have any questions around that. But you're gonna know on a soul level. You're gonna feel it inside of you if you're supposed to be part of this unity, one unity generation or
Love it.
not. I feel like I want to create like t-shirts and like hoodies,
Banners.
because
Yeah.
I like the one unity
Yeah.
generation. Like,
It's a
yeah.
very, very cool name. I love
So
the
I think we should
vibration of it.
create like hoodies and stuff, and
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah,
feel like I'm
definitely.
one of this.
It's actually it's quite a trick name, isn't it? I love it.
So thank you for today, team,
Oh,
and
thank you, Mia. And
thank you for everyone that tuned in.
yeah,
Enjoy
bless your
in bulk,
hearts.
if I say it
Yeah, in
right.
bulk, in bulk.
Yeah.
That beautiful energy. The beginning of it's the Gaelic or the Celtic spring, the first, well, up in this neck of the woods anyway. So
It's really restart. New
mm.
moon in bulk, 1st of February. I mean, do we need more signs?
No, Chinese New Year.
Chinese New Year,
Yeah,
exactly. So
absolutely.
you
And
have all the signs.
yeah, absolutely. And the new moon being in Aquarius, Aquarius is the reorganizer, the rebel,
Oh
the
yeah.
breaker of established contracts. So that is going to be a big one, as we've witnessing the further demolition of the third dimensional kind of constraints and constructions. It's beginning of an interesting month.
Yeah, use your breath.
Yeah,
Deep
breathe,
inhales,
breathe.
open your mouth, and deep exhales.
Lots of breathing.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for being
Lots of
here with
love.
us. And thank you, team. And let's
Thank
see
you, Mia.
how we're gonna end this.
Yeah. What do I do? Do I press leave? Do I press?
Let's if you just maybe mute and stop the video, and then I say to Johan to text you. Bye.